of the stratum corneum rather, is to prevent transepidermal water loss from increased permeability as a result from any factor, and also the formation of an acid mantle that makes the skin impermeable to water and microbial invasion. In what way does skin aging affect the stratum corneum? The normal skin pH is 4.6, but when you have open wound, the pH increases to 6.5 to 8.5. Contact with urine will change the skin pH at the stratum corneum level from 4.6 to a range between 4.6 to 8. So it can be slightly acidic to alkaline. Contact with stool changes the skin pH from to alkaline, and that's 7 to 7.5. Then sweat changes the skin pH from acidic to neutral pH. So all this occurs in everybody, but as people age, there is fecal incontinence, urinary incontinence. Then if there's any damage to the skin too, all this can change the skin pH. Then cellular regeneration is slower, generally all over the skin epidermis anyway. Usually it takes 25 to 30 days, sorry, not 25 to 20, 25 to 30 days for new cells to become stratum corneum cells. And aging makes it slow. Aging reduces this, or increases this rather, to a range of 40 to 50 days. The stratum lucidum is the next layer, but in the hands and soles. In other parts of the skin, is not present. And it usually contains 2 to 3 cells, 2 to 3 layers of cells, not 2 to 3 cells, 2 to 3 layers of cells. And then in areas where you have chronic itching, you are likely to find the stratum lucidum. And it is this increase in stratum lucidum that is usually responsible for the thickening of the skin that we observe in chronic itching. In chronic itching, we say there's like an infiltration, increase in skin marking and all that. Okay, it's actually the stratum lucidum coming up, developing in areas of chronic itching that contributes to this increase in skin thickness. The stratum lucidum consists of elastin, which is a derivative of keratohyalin. So it's also a structural element that provides strength. The stratum granulosum, or granular cell layer, has 3 to 5 cell layers. It contains keratohyalin granules as well as lamellar granules. It is the keratohyalin granules that are the precursor for the keratin that we see in the stratum corneum. The granules form together, they form. Whereas the lamellar granules are the glycolipids that are extruded into the intercellular areas and provide the cement. I said in the stratum corneum, the cells are the bricks. The cement in between them is formed by the glycolipids. Then the stratum spinosum, or the prickle cell layer, are 8 to 10 cell layers. Is made up of 8 to 10 cell layers and consists of lamellar granules mostly. The lamellar granules are membrane-bound organelles that contain glycoproteins, glycolipids, phospholipids, free steroids, and a number of acid hydrolases. These like lipases, proteases, glycosidases, and acid phosphatases. All these are necessary for the formation of stratum corneum lipids, which form the cement in the intercellular space. We should also know that dendritic cells, which are the larger cells for the body defense, is also found in the prickle cell layer. It's not part of the prickle cell layer, it's a different cell, but it's found within them. Then the stratum germinatum, or the basal cell layer, is just a single layer and is the one that synthesizes tonofilaments, which give rise to keratin. And, is this keratin that provides the strength that the cells have. They are joined together and to overlying cells through desmosomal junction. The basal cells are the ones that migrate to the stratum about 25 or 28 to 30 days. The melanocytes, which is another type of cell, are located within the basal layer. These melanocytes protection from sun rays or ultraviolet radiation. The aging changes that affect all these cells, as I said before, is that the cellular regeneration is slower. The cellular regeneration is slower, and then melanin production reduces from late 20s and become marked in the 70s. So let us note that melanin production reduces with aging, starting from the late 20s. Then cellular regeneration is slower. So those are the aging changes that occur in the epidermis with aging. Then, because of the slowness in cellular regeneration, there's going to be a reduction. You know, we spoke about lamellar granules and all those things they contain. So there's going to be a reduction in the amount of all these glycolipids, glycoproteins, all the things that form the cement that are in between the stratum corneum cells. And those ones, you know, the brick and mortar structure prevents things from penetrating into the skin. So when you have a slower cellular regeneration, things are now, the skin now become more permeable. There's increase in skin permeability. So that is what we should note. The repercussion of that slow cellular regeneration is that there's increase in skin permeability. Then this dermis is an irregular connective tissue that ranges from 0.6 mm in the iris to 4 mm in the back. And then the main function is to support the epidermis, supply oxygen and nutrients, and remove waste products. It's divided into two parts: the papillary region, which usually contains what we call the superficial plexus of the blood vessels. So these blood vessels that are in the papillary region supply the epidermis. Okay, then we have the reticular dermis, okay, which is the lower down. The reticular dermis is mainly made up of collagen fibers 1 and 2, and 1 and 3, as well as elastic fibers. So with aging, we have also the papillary region, you know, forms a close, a very tight attachment with the epidermis through the basement membrane. And you know, this area is very, very important in many skin diseases. And this is the area where we have the dermal papilla being formed. That dermal papilla contains it contains the blood vessels, it contains some nerves, and it contains pre-nerve endings. The cellular components of the dermis include the fibroblasts, produce collagen and elastic fibers, macrophages that protects against infection. Then it contains Schwann cells. These Schwann cells surround the mediastinal corpuscles in the free nerve endings in the dermal papilla. The dermal papilla is the area where the blood supply is and touches the and it passes to the epidermis. So the Schwann cells support the nerve fibers in this area. Okay. Then the dermal adipocytes are also found around the dermal papilla of the hair. Now, there are two dermal papilla in the skin. One is a dermal papilla that contains the blood vessels and is close to the epidermis. The second dermal papilla is at the hair bulbs, and that contains the stem cells that are dividing to form the hair. So we should note that all these affected, all this, they are all affected with skin aging. They all change with skin aging. And because of all these changes, we have all the different conditions we have with the hair. So let's note that with age, the dermal papilla tend to flatten, and in some places, it increases in number, not in thickness, but it increases in number. So when it increases in number like that, it means that there's likely to be more, there's going to be more blood getting out, reaching the skin surface. And because of that, there's going to be a lot of fluid loss, transepidermal water loss from the superficial part of the skin. So we should note all these changes that occur with aging. And those are the things that are responsible for the phenotypes or the skin features that we see in aging. The structural components of the dermis. I spoke about cellular components. Now the structural components. The collagen fibers provide the strength, and then the elastic fibers provide the elasticity we see in the skin. The extrafibrillar matrix, which is the ground substance, the proteoglycans, glycoproteins, and the glycosaminoglycans. They are for support. They just form things like cement in the skin. So they are for support. But they are all also very important. Please, am I being hard? Am I hard?
Yes.
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Yes, ma, we muted everybody, so you can just go ahead.
Okay. And the hair follicles, sweat glands, and sebaceous glands, as well as lymphatic vessels and nerves and blood cells, are all found within the dermis. Then the nerve is what I will just give as example. Changes in the nerves or sensation in the skin. I will give it as an example of changes in the skin. Please, is every part of my screen seen? I have some things that are blocking. Okay, let's note that the nerves. Okay, you can still see them. Let's note that the nerves are responsible for pain, touch, pressure, sensation of temperature, and all that. So the skin is very important. All the sensation we are having in the body is because of the nerve endings, the nerves that we have within the skin. We have what we call the mechanoreceptors that are responsible for sense of touch, and also the dermal receptors that are responsible for sensing heat. If not, all the sensation we feel, and we say, it's hot here, it's cold here, is all because of the nerves in the skin. I'll give an example of the Messner corpuscles. The Messner corpuscles are a type of mechanoreceptor that are in the dermal papilla. I said earlier that dermal papillas contain blood vessels and nerves. So it is sensitive to light touch and is more in the fingertips, the leaves, and the male prepuce. Age changes in Messner corpuscles and the Pacinian corpuscles will result in people not identifying objects when they touch them. Then something touching or pressing on the skin, the ability might reduce. Okay. There's also a reduction in sensing where touch or pressure is occurring. And then a reduction can also be in the sensation of how many things is touching someone at the same time. So we should note that aging can affect all these things in the skin. Skin aging. What does skin aging really mean? Skin aging refers to any change in the skin as a result of progressive deterioration in physiological functions under the influence of various internal and external skin aging mechanisms. What we're saying is that the physiological change functions of the skin, all the anatomical changes that we have, the cellular components, the structural components of the skin, all of them function physiologically. That is, they are doing their function is as summarized before, because I said the functions of the skin. All those structural components, the cellular component, they're all working together to perform those functions. Okay, and when we have them changing, we now have a change in the physiological functions of the skin that is impaired. We have changes that impairs the physiological functions of the skin, and that is what we are now calling skin aging. So those physiological functions can manifest either physiologically or, those deterioration rather can manifest either physiologically or morphologically or clinically. What are the factors that affect skin aging? There are 7 main risk factors identified in skin aging studies, and these are age, the sex, the ethnic group, nutrition, smoking, air pollution, and ultraviolet radiation exposure. These are the main key risk factors that have been identified. We have other factors: stress, body mass index, hormonal changes, sleep, and chronic health conditions. They also influence skin aging. You can see when people are ill, that people look older, weaker, and things like that. That's because of all those changes that occur in the skin. Who does skin aging affect? Skin aging are of 2 types, which I will talk about later: the internal one and the one that is due to external factors. The intrinsic aging, which is due to internal changes, affects everyone and every skin type. The extrinsic changes, however, is more in people that have Fitzpatrick 1 to 3, people that work outdoors or spend long periods outdoors between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., people that are exposed to artificial sources of UV radiation, people that are genetically predisposed to premature aging. Sorry, please, there are some background noises here. Then people that reside in the tropics or subtropics are also affected by photoaging. People that reside at high altitudes, maybe mountainous areas, those are the high altitudes. Okay, then premature aging from smoking also is a very known cause of photoaging. Then chronic exposure to environmental pollutants also is responsible for photoaging. What are the key biological mechanisms involved in skin aging? There are 2 categories of skin aging. We have the intrinsic aging, and is a natural process that is affected by genetics, cellular senescence, telomere shortening, oxidative stress, metabolic processes, declining immune system, stress, and hormonal changes. Extrinsic change, aging, is due to environmental factors that I've said. Such environmental factors include skincare practices, pollution, UV radiation, and lifestyle practices. I've listed them here. I'll speak on each of them, because these are the factors that we sort of have to watch out for, except for the intrinsic one anyway. But the intrinsic one, let us know that they are impacted by the extrinsic one. Okay? The intrinsic ones, genetic factors that influences the rate of skin aging. Specific genes that control DNA repair. Am I being hard? Am I being hard? Am I being hard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you.
But your voice is lower.
Yes. Yeah, your voice is lower.
All right. Please. I'm having some background noises from people that are around. Okay. Am I being heard clearly now?
It's still a bit low, but you can go ahead.
I actually used earpiece. That's why my voice went down. Let me remove. So specific genes control DNA repair, antioxidant defense, and collagen formation in the skin. Mutations in these genes will hasten aging. Part of those mutations, example, is polymorphism in MMP1 gene. This gene is responsible for collagen breakdown. So the degradation rates will increase as well as elastic loss, elastic fiber loss when we have polymorphism in this gene. Then we have what we call cellular senescence. It's just like when we buy a car, with time, the car will, when you're first using it, everything is working well. With time, one thing or the other starts going down and things like that. So also our body, we have different components of our bodies. All these cells eventually lose ability to proliferate and function normally due to continuous use, continuous stress or damage. So they are characterized by this cellular senescence is characterized by what we call senescent cells, like cells that are tired or already damaged. They also secrete inflammatory cytokines and MMPs, matrix metalloproteinases. And this causes different changes in the skin. Like I said before, wrinkles and elastic fiber loss. That's the increase of elasticity, the increase in skin, they reduce the skin elasticity, as well as causing a degradation in collagen fibers. So that would be responsible for wrinkles.
Ma, you have about 10 minutes more.
10 minutes, okay. Telomere shortening and oxidative stress are also known as causes of the intrinsic aging. Then the extrinsic aging, we have the UV radiation, pollution, and then dietary changes, metabolic processes that also causes advanced glycation end products to be produced. And these end products, glycation, AGEs, break down collagen fibers and cause wrinkling. The extrinsic aging is affected by hydration and sleep, the skincare practices. And I have a summary here of intrinsic mechanism of aging as well as extrinsic mechanism of aging. How does the skin change as you age? In all that I've been saying, I've mentioned some changes that occur and what causes them. We have drier skin, we have itching as a result of less blood flow and less hydration. We have less oil secretion, the glands shrink, and then we have thinner skin. The skin becomes paler, as I said, melanin reduces. The skin becomes less stretchy because of elastic fibers that break down. The skin becomes more fragile because there's less collagen and ground substance. The skin bruises more easily because the blood vessels will become more fragile and there's reduced blood supply with aging. Then aging occurs in different forms. I'm talking about the phenotypes of skin now, the physical features of skin. Aging occurs in different forms. We have the signs to look for have been broadly classified into two types. Okay, I'll speak about them later. But note that 47% of people we have that are aging, we have wrinkles, pigmentation, photoaging, telangiectasia, poor leaf fullness, lighter skin color, xerosis, which is dry skin, freckles, ptosis of the eyelids, eye bags, and a lower eyebrow positioning. These are 41 skin age phenotypes or skin aging features that you will see. And I put the percentages there for the first 12, then all the others. This is arranged in according to their frequencies, how common they are. And then we should know that it is in all age groups that you can, these phenotypes, this pertains to all age groups rather, all the phenotypes we are seeing here, but it is more with increasing aging. So these are the 41 skin aging. So we can check them later. Then the phenotypes here that I explained are two common ones that we might need to. Somebody has drawn the line. Then we have two types of aging that I mentioned. The two grouping. We have the hypertrophic. Please, whoever it was that used this should remove the lines. We have the hypertrophic and wrinkling group. This hypertrophic and wrinkling group have glabellar frown wrinkles, perioral wrinkles, melalomenta folds, and so on. They are mainly wrinkles that they have. So this is an example of the hypertrophic types. You can see all the wrinkling, the lines. Okay, this one is a nasolabia one. Okay. From the facial wrinkles here, I've shown the different types of the wrinkles. We have the nasolabia folds here. We have the mental crease. We have the marionette lines, which is from the angle of the mouth to the chin. The nasolabia is from the angle of the nose here to the angle of the mouth. Okay, we have these tear troughs. We have the bunny lines, the 4S wrinkles, the frown lines in between. Then we have the crow's feet at the angle of the eye. So these are the lines that are more prominent in the hypertrophic type. Then we have the atrophic type. You know, I mentioned I'm going to show the atrophic type now. There are two.
Love of God. Love of God. Love of God.
The hypertrophic or wrinkling
Can you
group.
mute yourself?
The second is the atrophic or pigmentary group. This second atrophic or pigmentary group usually have pigment spots, solar comedone. In a slide, I put down what solar comedone is. Permanent erythema, sebaceous hyperplasia, and then dyspigmentation, as well as seborrheic keratosis. Now, this is a picture of, I'll show a picture now. This is a atrophic type. Okay, we can see the hyperpigmentation, and also there is an increase in erythema. Then the cancer type is the third group. You know, this is a picture of the cancer type with actinic keratosis shown, and then they usually have photoaging effects. And then the melanoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and all those belongs to this group. How to manage skin aging? We have the general approach to protect the skin, and we have the therapeutic approaches to the management of skin aging. Because of time, I'm quickly going to run through them. How do we prevent wrinkles or other signs of skin aging? One, lifestyle changes. Limit the time in the sun. Sunscreen use. We've been told to use sunscreen with SPF 30, like 15 to 30 minutes before exposure, and to repeat every 2 hours, especially when you rub it well. And then we also should wear protective clothing, avoid sun lamps or tanning braids, then avoid also tanning lotions or sprays. Then you should drink water to stay hydrated. The amount of water for each person, please take note of this. In case you are treating people with dry skin and all that, the amount of water they should take is not just 2 liters for all adults. It's 30 to 40% of their body weight. 30 to 40% of their body weight. So if somebody is 70 kg, just say 30% of the body weight. Or if the hydration or the dry skin is marked, use 40% of the body weight to calculate the amount of water they should take. I've treated a lot of people with hydrotherapy. That means drinking water. A lot of people with dry skin, a lot of people with body itching. It is very, very effective. But it takes time, because for them to comply, and that's why it seems as if it's not working. It's difficult for them to comply. You have to tell them to open an exercise book. Then another lifestyle change that should be done to prevent or reduce skin aging is bathing right. You should bathe with warm water. You know, it's not easy to get warm water here, but yes, you can. If you can boil water, you can keep in a flask for 3 days just for your face alone. You cannot do it for all parts of your body. The skin temperature is 33.5 to 36.9 for healthy adults. The normal body temperature is 36.5 to 37.5. So, and people generally feel neither hot, not chilly, between 20 to 22. That's in developed countries, but it's higher in the tropics. That's about 23 to 27 for us. And we don't feel cold, we don't feel hot. Yeah. So this shows that we need warm water, not cold water, for our skin. So you bathe right with warm water. Then you wet your skin before applying soap, either liquid soap or bar soap. Wet your skin. All the bar soap should be lather. Put them in water, make firm water, because the skin needs water, you know. In this environment, our skin is usually dry. So you should wet your skin before applying soap. Then allow water to dry on your skin and slightly rub off some water after bathing. Then we can reduce the exfoliation to 2 to 3 times. Then other lifestyle changes include eat foods that are high in nutrients, get enough sleep, stop smoking. Smoking has been associated with skin aging through several studies. There are so many studies on it, effect of smoking on skin. So, and then it has been found that these changes that are produced by smoking does not get corrected. When you start using all sorts of things, it does not get corrected. So you should just avoid smoking. Then manage stress, reduce caffeine intake, and then use a skin or face moisturizer. Then I will say briefly how to manage dry, itchy skin at home. That you should use moisturizer, mild soap, and warm water, not hot water. Then also try to use a humidifier, something that has moisture to the room if you have dry, itchy skin. Then therapeutic approaches is a multifaceted approach. So it includes topical treatments and advanced treatment. Topical treatments here refers to skincare products used together with diets, and then advanced treatments. Now, to manage the skin, one has to identify, to manage skin aging, one has to identify the skin type. And these skin types I wrote here, as given here, using the common skin type are about 16. So a combination of each of these 4 parameters will make up a particular skin type. When you pick one from each of these 4, you have a particular combination. So we should also note that physiological differences occur in skin type. A black skin person usually have increased transepidermal water loss, with reduction in stratum corneum hydration, and also increased environmental temperature. So dark skin people are more prone to skin dryness. Then prescription of skincare products should be based on clinical conditions and the skin types. Then ideal skin type is characterized by healthy skin barrier function, normal sebum secretion, and adequate natural moisturizing factors. We should make sure these things are in place if you want to manage the skin and prevent skin aging or reduce skin aging. I put here what we can do for each skin type. For dry skin, the cleansing, the moisturizers needed, and sun protection that should be done. Then the oily skin too, use of foam cleansers. For moisturizing light lotions or serum type moisturizers with humectants. Then sun protection, to use moisturizing sunscreen that are oil free. Okay. This is for dry skin, oily skin. This is for sensitive skin. So the cleansing, the moisturizing type of moisturizer we can use, and the sun protection that we can also do.
Our time is actually up. I don't know how many more slides you have.
Okay, I'll soon be rounding up. I'm close to the end. All right. For the therapeutic intervention, topical treatments, all these therapeutic treatments have also been incorporated into the slides that I showed earlier. The slides that I showed earlier for the skin types. So for topical treatment, you can use retinoids that promotes collagen formation and cell turnover. Antioxidants, I've mentioned different types of antioxidants here. Okay, and then tyrosinase inhibitors. Okay. So these 3 components can be in our topical treatment for skin aging. Then the advanced therapeutics. There are 2 emerging procedures that are being done. platelet-rich plasma therapy, and microneedling. All this helps with skin regeneration. In conclusion, proper management of skin aging involves prevention and intervention efforts. Is a holistic or a multifaceted approach. The emphasis should be placed on the significance of multimodal strategy that incorporates lifestyle changes that I've mentioned, improve skincare routines that I've also said, that I've enumerated before, and use of therapeutic technologies like topical agents and also the advanced treatment to reduce the effects of aging, while at the same time promoting a resilient and healthier skin. Age gracefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma, for the presentation. I hope we all enjoyed that. It was very insightful, a lot to learn. I love the fact that you took us down to the cellular level so that we can even understand the aging process from the cellular level in order to be able to know how to manage it. And I'll just give a brief summary. The skin is the largest organ, as we all know, with the largest surface area. The most important function being protection against UV rays. And in aging, the physiological functions of the skin is affected as well. And this is why there's a medical aspect to it, and why, as dermatologists, we're very interested in aging. She talked about the different layers of the skin, which we all know. The skin pH is usually 4 to 6, but when there are wounds and pollutants, the pH changes, and this can affect the barrier function. Very important, cellular regeneration is usually 25 to 30 days, but as we get older, it increases to 40 to 50 days. And one important part for me was to learn that the stratum lucidum has L-adin, which is what causes itching and also is seen when there's skin bleaching and skin damage. Also, she spoke about the cellular components of the skin being affected by skin aging. She spoke about 7 main factors, which include the person's age, the sex, the ethnic group, nutrition, smoking, very important, air pollution, and UV radiation. Other factors are stress, BMI, hormonal factors, and chronic diseases. And there are 2 major types of aging, intrinsic and extrinsic. For intrinsic, there's not much you can do about it because it has to do with your genetics. Extrinsic is where you can act on. And extrinsic factors include environmental factors, diet, and so much more. How does skin age? It becomes drier, there's less oil secretion, the skin becomes thinner, paler, less stretchy, it's more fragile, and bruises more easily. Then she also spoke about phenotypes of skin aging. She spoke about 41 skin aging phenotypes. We can't get into that now, but there are 41 skin aging phenotypes. And also there are 2 groupings of skin aging, the hypertrophic and wrinkling group, actually 3 groupings, the hypertrophic and wrinkling group, the atrophic and pigmentary group, and the cancer type. The hypertrophic is the obvious wrinkling of the skin and the sagging, while the atrophic and pigmentary type is where there's pigmentation, more erythema, and solar spots. And then there's the cancer type, which has photoaging effects. Then she went into the management of skin aging. There's the general, and then there's the lifestyle change and therapeutic approaches. Of course, the general is like sunscreen use, protective clothing, bathing right, not allowing your skin to get too dry, exfoliating. Lifestyle changes, eat well, sleep well, stop smoking if you do, reduce the stress in your life, moisturize your skin. Then therapeutic approaches include using topical treatments, skincare routines with diet. And in managing topically as well. There are treatments that you can do. And she mentioned something which I think is important. There are physiological differences between black and white skin. In black skin, there's more, we're more prone to having transepidermal water loss, which leads to dehydration of the skin and dryness. So we need to moisturize more. Prescription should be on clinical conditions seen in each person. And in general, advanced techniques include PRP and microneedling. In conclusion, prevention and intervention are important, understanding the extrinsic and intrinsic factors, and emphasis is on lifestyle changes, skincare routines, and therapeutic techniques. So would like to take questions now. I'll just look in the chat box. Okay, there's a question, Ma. Is there any role for microneedling combined with antioxidants and other anti-aging products in the management of skin aging? You mentioned PRP, but somebody is asking, Dr. Enechukwu is asking if there's any role for microneedling with antioxidants and other anti-aging products.
How many years now?
Dr. Oninla. Dr. Oninla.
Okay, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Sorry, there were a lot of background noises, so I had to mute the mic. So I didn't know you didn't hear me when I started speaking. Okay. Yes, please. You can with microneedling. Okay. You can. You can have antioxidants topically. Okay. I think because maybe later we will have another lecture that will be for many dermatologists, and we'll learn all these procedures in aging. All the procedures, therapeutic procedures in aging will be another topic entirely. So there will not be a description of the processes to go through. So the answer is yes.
I totally agree. It should be a separate presentation for that. Okay, there's another question. Do you recommend routinely oral vitamin E for anti-aging?
All the antioxidants I mentioned, some of them can be found orally. Some of them have been made into topical. And I have a book chapter on nutraceuticals, okay? They all can be obtained from food. Please, let's pay attention to food. You know, I also did a presentation where I spoke about mineral components of the hair and of the skin. All the components of our skin, the carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, everything that we need is exactly what is in the soil. Is exactly in that presentation. Maybe I'll look for it. I'll send it also with this lecture. You know, the minerals that we have in our body, and also the macronutrients, everything that we have in our body is in the soil. And from the soil, they get to the plants. So actually, that's why people that are vegetarians, they say that they live longer, they look younger and all that. It's because they're taking all these things from our food. I'm not a vegetarian, but what we're saying is that please pay attention to your food and make sure vegetables and fruits. Somebody like me, I don't usually take vegetables, but I have to start learning to take it. Vegetables and fruits is compulsory. Many of us will just take rice, put stew that we have warm, put stew and put meat, eat like that. No vegetable, no fruits. We are on our way, especially during our student days. But this is the time we should know that fruits and vegetables are packed full of all these things we need for aging, whether for the skin or for any body organ in the body. And antioxidants are very important in protecting against cardiovascular problems, and also all these our myriads of skin problems. Please let us go nature-wise. in our treatment and also in the prevention of problems in this, either in the skin or elsewhere. Let's eat appropriately. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. I agree. And even though vegetables are expensive, I found that you can actually plant at home. You can have like little pots where you plant vegetables that you can use in cooking. That was a tip from a chef, and I've been doing that for a while. Somebody else is asking, how does exercise affect skin aging? Are there exercise programs that could improve or accelerate skin aging features? From Dr. Emeka Okoro.
Please, our moderator, please, you will kindly help us to take note of these questions so that we'll prepare it as another topic. Okay, exercise increases blood flow. Exercise improves blood flow. Let us know that blood flow, as I explained before, to the skin is very important. It's very, very important. So exercise increases blood flow to the skin. Exercise will help to increase sweating. You know what sweating also does in our body, in the homeostasis of the skin. So exercise, yes, improves aging. And there are some other, I saw some literature on it, some studies have been done on it. So please, how will I say, they talk about all the chemical processes, physiological processes in detail. So yes, exercise improves skin aging.
Okay, ma. There's another question from Zainab Baba. Is there a place for routine use of retinoid, and at what age can it be started? What is the role of collagen or supplements in skin aging?
Please, I wrote about how we should manage our skin type. Skin aging starts from 20 years and above. There was a major study that was done in Chinese and Malaysians together, almost 4,000 people of all age group. It was from there that I got those 41 phenotypes. Okay. Now, skin aging starts from age 20. It's not until we get middle age or old. So all our children, we should start giving them the appropriate food and appropriate skincare products. All those ones that I listed, the antioxidants, okay, resveratrol, vitamin C, vitamin E, all of them are very helpful. So skin products that have them, we should use them, please. See, when we cannot, if we are not taking them orally, if you are applying them topically, they will still penetrate and enter into the skin. Okay, they will enter into the skin. So we can use them topically and as early as possible. We should for my children, I bought this big 1 liter. I don't want to mention the maker so that it won't seem as if I'm promoting that. For the shower gel for bathing. And I bought a 1 liter something for cream. You share with everybody. When he finishes, buy another one. You know, it's like it's what you put in is what you get. Thank you.
Okay, ma. Akola Wale is asking, in patients with chronic inflammatory conditions like atopic dermatitis, which bath has a role? He says, I did not see you mention telomeres and inhibitors for role of totipotent stems and certain molecules in reversing aging.
I mentioned telomere. It's there in the presentation. I'll share it. Okay.
Okay. So when you share it,
when the telomeres are at the end of the chromosomes, as the chromosomes divide, you know, I said the skin continuously divides. So that telomere area gets shortened and shortened and shortened. Eventually, the cell will not be able to divide again. And that is when we have senescence. Those cells now become old and they become shed off. So I mentioned I could not explain very well, but it's on the slide. Yes, because of time.
Okay. Dr. Trump is asking, Did you speak about the product Epicelline for aging gracefully? What's the science behind it? Epicelline. Ma, can you hear me? Dr. Oninla.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry, you said, did I speak about?
Epicelline for aging gracefully.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, ma.
Is it, I don't know, is it a chemical component or? I don't really know. I can't.
Prof, you want to?
Episterine or?
Epicelline.
Can you spell this?
Okay, I'll send it to you as a message because we've run out of time actually.
We'll check, I'll check and I will answer all the questions later.
Okay, I'll send you
the
question. There's one last question though. What is your view on metformin for anti-aging?
I will not because metformin is also for another condition. So I will not suggest that we use it for anti-aging for now.
Okay.
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 We have so many things that are effective, which we have not even finished using. So there are new studies of different products. You know, that was why I said therapeutic approaches will be another topic. There are so many. I think if you go into that, I will come across the episterine we are talking about, and later we'll give it. The therapeutic approaches to skin aging. We'll talk about that later. Because this is a community webinar, I had to leave out many things that are like technical or complex or something like that. I was trying to simplify it. That's the reason I didn't dwell much on the therapeutic approaches to skin aging. So we'll go in depth with in another seminar, hopefully, whether handled by me or by another person. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma, for the beautiful presentation. We've come to the end of the seminar, and I trust that everybody enjoyed it and learned something on this very important topic. And I hope that you all join us again for the next topic next month. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Thank you all for being a part of this presentation.
Okay. So thank you very much, everybody. I don't know whether there's any announcement from Mr. President.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for those that came, but the attendance today has been very poor. We keep on trying to make everybody to come. This is our own program. If we don't attend, we won't be able to get sponsors. Only 47 people attended from the record I'm seeing here. And I think this is the last webinar for the year. So I wish everybody, how will I say it now?
We're supposed to have another one next month, sir. We're in October.
Next month is okay, November. Okay, sorry. I thought we were already in November. Okay.